everyone! This week we're looking at the ultimate Christmas surprise! Ooh. Happy holidays! I am so excited for Christmas. I love this time of year. I mean, what can be better than spending time with family, seeing all the fun decorations and lights, listening to the music. I really like Christmas music. And doing it all was celebrating Jesus. Oh, it's so good. And I love all the surprises. It's so fun to get gifts and even funner to give gifts and to see the happy faces of those that you love after they open up your surprises and gifts to them. I love it. One of the fun things that we do as we're coming up to Christmas in our family is that we have an advent calendar. This guy. Today we're on the 13th and I can't wait because I've been craving chocolate today. So let's go for it and... Oh, no chocolate. What do I have? Oh. Okay, this is better. This is so sweet. Oh, it's a picture from my son. And it's a little fellow turtle that he did. Wow. And, oh, this says look in the 25th. So it wasn't small enough to fit in there. Oh. And my daughter showed me this, it looks like. Wow! Oh, wow! I love this. What a surprise! Oh, chocolate would have been awesome because I was craving it, but that joy would have lasted like 10 seconds and it would have been gone. But these I'm gonna treasure. I have an art wall full of my kids' art. I'm gonna be putting these up and oh, it just hits the deep places in my heart in a totally different way than chocolate does. And their gifts of love for me are gonna fill my heart with joy for the rest of my life. Versus chocolate that would have filled me with joy for 10 seconds. Even though I like it. That 10 seconds is a good 10 seconds, let me tell you. But this is so much better. Around the holidays, there are so many surprises, and I love them all. In fact, this wood advent calendar reminds me of a story of trees that got some surprises. Let's take a look. Why, howdy everyone! The name's Pine, Junior Pine. I know I don't look like a junior, but you should see my great-great-great-grandpappy. Actually, that reminds me of a story. It's about my great-grandpappy, my great-uncle Earl, and my great-uncle Bob. They were in the West before anyone else was there. Those were interesting times because, well, they'd never seen anyone before. And all of a sudden, everyone started moving out there. Yep, train loads. They were seeing loggers coming through. Started cutting up trees all around them. Timber! All around them. And houses were being built, buildings. It was a crazy time. Well, my uncles and my grandpappy, they weren't too excited about it until they started seeing what some of the trees were being made into. Like coaches and toys and stuff. Well, my great-uncle Earl got to thinking, you know, I wouldn't mind being a treasure chest. Yep, I would love to hold the greatest treasures in the whole wide world. And what would you know? But some loggers came by and chopped them down. Timber! Well, they hauled him away, and the carpenter made him into a box. But it wasn't a treasure chest. It was a feeding box for animals. Oh, he sure was disappointed. Well, he couldn't warn my Uncle Bob. My Bob said, oh, Uncle Earl's gone to be a treasure chest. I sure wouldn't mind being a ship. Then I could sail away and explore new lands. Well, wouldn't you know it, those lockers came down and chop, chop, chop. They chopped him down and took him away. Well, Carpenter came and made him into a boat. But it wasn't a big grand ship. It was a little old fishing boat. Yep, just a little wee thing. Well, my Uncle Bob was disappointed. And then there was my grandpappy. He saw my Uncle Earl got taken away. He saw my Uncle Bob getting taken away. And he didn't want any of it. Nope, he's like, treasure chests and ships, they can keep them. I just won't be up here. Amongst all the animals, the birds, and the squirrels, I want to grow big and tall and point to God when I grow up. Yep, I'll be the biggest, tallest tree in the whole land. And everyone will see me and think of God, because I'll be so magnificent. Oh, well, there he was, standing big and tall and... Uh-oh! Oh, who's that underneath? Chop! Chop! Oh! The loggers came for him! Chop! Oh no! My grandpappy got chopped down and hauled away. Well, he wasn't looking forward to it in the first place, but then the carpenter came and he just made him into wood beams. That's right, nothing fancy at all, just wood beams and thrown in a pile. Well, those three got shipped away over the ocean to a far away land. And, well, we didn't hear from them for a while, but then they sent letters back. That's right. We got a letter from Great Uncle Earl. It said, "Dear family, I sure was disappointed when I just got made into a feeding box for animals. But then, one night, they put a little baby in me. A donkey was eating from me the night before, but then I was holding a child. And then these shepherds came and they're talking about this baby being the king of all kings. And I could feel it. It was something special. Yeah. Oh, I was holding the king of all kings. I couldn't believe it. That was better than any other treasure. Wow. So don't worry about me, family. I'm over here just enjoying knowing the fact that I held the greatest treasure that there ever was in all of eternity. I'll send a picture. Love you all, Great Uncle Earl. And then we got a letter years later from my Uncle Bob. It said, "Dear family." Well, you know, after smelling fish for years and years and years and years, I was getting over it. And then one day I got some fishermen in me and we went across the lake. Well, there was a huge storm and I thought that was the end of me. Yup, I was a goner for sure. Until this man stood up and said, "Peace, be still." And the waves just went whoosh. Still. And the lake was totally peaceful. And then I knew he was more than just a man. What? This man, he must have been the Son of God. After getting a night like that, I didn't mind being a fishing boat at all. I'll send a picture. Love you all, Uncle Bob. Yup, it sure was good to have those letters. And then we got a letter from my grandpappy. It said, "Dear family." Well, I sure was grumpy about being turned into wooden beams. All I wanted to be was left alone. And then I got pitted to this cross and put upon a man's shoulders. I felt ugly and it felt horrible. They were doing something horrible. And then this man got nailed to me. It was about the saddest thing that I'd ever known. He died on me. But then 3 days later, he rose from the dead. That's right, because he wasn't no ordinary person. He was God. Oh, it was amazing. And all I want to do is point to God. Now, whenever people looked at an image of me, they thought of God. I couldn't ask for anything more. Now I'm so glad that I got turned into these old wooden beams. I couldn't ask for anything more than to remind people of God for all of forever. Love, your grandpappy. Whew, what lives they led! They wanted to be great ships and treasure chests and the tallest tree in the forest. And they didn't think they were coming out to much, but God used them. And they ended up being the mightiest trees in all the land, serving Jesus. Woo-wee! I hope I get to serve Jesus like that. Woo! Hi, everyone! Okay, today we're continuing our nativity and making... Making me moves! Me move?
No, making
Wise men! That is so good, because I don't remember Mimus being at the nativity scene. Okay, you guys, we have wooden wise men and googly eyes, but this one's naked. So we got all sorts of stuff here. We've got hair and feathers and felt and foam and yarn. And we're gonna have a ton of fun making our wise men, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Tilly's making two. Jackson, you're making two? I wonder if I should make a wise man hat or something like that.
Yeah!
That would be fun.
Do it!
Earlier, we were reading the Bible story about the wise men. And so I'm going to ask Tilly and Jackson some quiz questions while we do the crafts. Because Jackson had a good point. He was saying, why don't we have 5 or 6 wise men? Okay, you guys, I'm going to ask you a question while you're crafting.
Yeah.
And that is, how many wise men did they say in the Bible there were?
You just said there were wise men.
Yeah, that's right. Jackson, do you remember that? You had such a good point. You guys, tons of movies and stories that we hear now say that there were 3 wise men. Well, all we know was that 3 of the gifts were gold, frankincense, and myrrh. I was going to ask you that as a quiz question later. Okay, I hope you were listening, because I'll ask it later. But we don't know how many wise men there were. In fact, hundreds of years ago, most Christians thought that there was about 12. And we actually don't know, but there might have been a few. Okay, Jackson, what can I help you cut?
I would like you to glue this on, please.
Oh, you got it. I love this hair. Yes. So good. Yes, Tilly, I love this wise man's hair. So fun.
Can you help me go to kind of square?
Oh, I'd love to. A blue square one?
This scale right here.
Tilly and Jackson, what did they see that told them it was time to come and worship the King of the Jews? What did they see?
A star.
Yes, a star. And did they go to Bethlehem right away?
Yes.
No!
No.
Oh, good job. You were starting to say no.
Yes.
Good job. Do you remember the name of this city? That one's hard.
Jerua.
Jerusalem. Good job.
Can you please glue this on?
Yes. Here,
It's
I'll
a
finish
beautiful
Jackson's.
A build.
Okay, you guys, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, what was the name of the king that they went to see to ask where the King of the Jews was being born? The name of the king.
At Bethlehem?
Oh, that was the city that he sent them to. Good job for listening. And do you remember he was king?
He was a naughty king.
He was. King Herod.
King Herod.
King Herod. But Jackson, King Herod found out that Jesus was going to be born in which city?
Bethlehem.
Yes, Bethlehem. And so he sent them to Bethlehem. Here you go, Jackson. That's looking so good. I love him.
Can you do another one?
Oh, yes, but I'll have you cut out his clothes.
Okay.
Okay, so they went to Bethlehem. And what did King Herod tell the wise men to do after they found Jesus?
To come and, come and tell him who he was so he could worship him and see
Yes.
him too.
Yes. Do you want me to hold this for you, Jackson?
But did he? No.
Good. Well done.
He did not want to worship.
No, what did he want to do? He didn't want to worship Jesus.
He
What did he want
wanted
to do?
to kill Jesus.
Yeah! He wanted to kill Jesus.
Poor Jesus.
Oh my
That
goodness.
must have broken his heart. He loved him so much.
Yeah, the God loved King Herod. King Herod was just worried about being king. Okay, Jackson, do you want this on the back, kind of like a cape, like this?
Yeah.
That's great. Do you want anything on the front, or should we leave the front for now?
Leave him.
Okay, sounds great. Okay, you guys, when the wise men followed the star again to Bethlehem, where did the star stop?
At one house.
Yeah, at the house where Mary and Joseph and Jesus were staying. Jackson, this one's for you, okay?
Okay.
Ready for quiz time?
Yeah.
Okay. Were Mary and Joseph and Jesus staying with the animals when the wise men came?
At Bethlehem.
Were they staying with the animals?
No.
No! Where do you remember where they were staying?
House.
Yes, it was a house. You know why that question was really tricky? Because most movies that I've seen have the wise men come to visit Jesus at the stable.
Uh-huh.
But the wise men probably came months later and they visited Mary and Joseph and Jesus when they were living in a house. And it might have been the house of one of their relatives. Mary and Joseph and Jesus, where did they go to after they saw the wise men? Joseph had a dream, and the angel told him to go to...
It's not Jerusalem.
There are pyramids there.
The desert.
It is where there's a lot of desert now. Egypt!
Egypt.
Yeah, he said run away to Egypt. And the wise men's gifts might have been... Yeah, it probably what helped give them the money that they needed to go on that big trip and live down in Egypt. Jackson, that looks so cool. I am loving it. Wow, are these like little scarves?
Yeah.
They're looking great.
I
Do you want anything on his head? Oh, I wonder if this would wrap around my head.
Oh, yes.
Should I make a wise man's hat?
Yeah!
I'll do it. I like it. Jackson, did the wise men take a quick trip or a long trip to see Jesus?
A long trip.
Yeah, it probably took them like a couple months, which, let's see how long a month is. That would be probably like all of fall.
All fall.
Yeah, like the whole season of fall. It'd probably take them almost that long to go see Jesus. Did they just go to see him or did they go to bring him anything?
Frankincense, myrrh, and gold.
Yes, now
Frankincense.
what they brought him, was that just like stuff they didn't really care about? Like, oh, I just got whatever was lying around at home.
No.
No!
It was fit for a king.
It was very valuable. In fact, the frankincense and myrrh might have been worth even more than the gold. In fact, one guy around the time, he said that the Arabians around there were the richest people in the world because of the frankincense and myrrh that they sold. The Egyptians would buy it by the boatload. Okay, you guys, ding, ding, ding. Ready for another quiz question?
Yes.
Okay, where did the wise men go after they gave Jesus the gifts?
They escaped.
Yes, back home.
How long?
Are Are you making me a hat? I love it.
It says I love you right here.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Daddy, I sticked it in a glue.
Oh my goodness,
See?
I am loving this.
Sticked it in a glue.
Good job, Jackson. Woo! Pick for a wise man. Yes! Tilly, do you like it? Yay!
Sorry, please. Yeah.
Yeah! Woo! I love it. Wow. Okay, guys, should we clean up and then get out our nativity and put our wise men there?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yum, they smell too good.
Okay, boys and girls, you've got all of your roles for the class production of the Nativity. Are you all pleased with what you've selected?
Yeah! I'm so glad I could be here! Oh, I'll take Joseph any day. And the angel I've dreamed about my whole life. Whoa! I can't believe you got the angel. That's like the best part. That part totally suits you, Bob. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I'm so excited.
Bob, I just know that you'll do a fabulous job because you're just such a good bulb.
Oh, thank you, teacher. Thank you, Mrs. Mistletoe. I'll try my best. I've waited for this moment for, well, all year.
All right, class, we've got a new student coming. I'm going to go greet him. You talk amongst yourselves.
All right, new student. Sure. Whoa, I wonder if he's like a surfer student. I can't wait to meet him. Ha.
Guys, this is my friend Pinecone. He's new in our class.
Oh, hey, Pine.
Hey, guys.
Oh, hey, Pine. How's it going?
High five, dude. Boom, boom,
High five. Whoa, that is one cool kid.
Thanks, man. So, we're in the middle of our Christmas play. We should ask Mrs. Mistletoe if you can be in it. Do you want to be in it? Yeah, I love doing plays. I'm really good. I did all of the plays back home.
Let's go ask her. It's going to be the best play ever. Mrs. Mistletoe! Pine here is such a cool kid. Can he be in the play?
I'm sorry, children, but we already have passed out all of the roles. Pinecone, I know that you're very experienced in running in the theater. Maybe you can be in charge of the glitter that we throw at the audience.
What? Oh, Pine, I'm so sorry, man. Well, I mean, glitter throwing's cool.
I know. It would have been cool to be in the play, though. Well, I'm sorry, Pinecone. Maybe next year you can do something, but this year the roles have been selected already. Okay. Guys, I feel bad for Pine. Me too. He's so cool. He should be in our play.
And, like, Mrs. Mistletoe totally said he had experience. I mean, he's done this before.
Well, I mean, I guess he gets to throw glitter.
You guys, I want Pine to feel welcome. He doesn't know anyone here. And, well, I'm gonna give him my role as the angel.
What? Are you sure? Bulb, you've been working so hard. You love that role, Bulb.
I know, and, well, someone prayed over me earlier that I would be on stage. But I still get to be on stage. I get to throw the glitter. It might not be how I wanted it to look, but I feel good about this. I want to love everyone well.
Okay, Bulb, you're amazing. What a good friend.
Let's go talk to Mrs. Mistletoe. Mrs. Mistletoe?
Yes, Bulb.
I wanted to switch roles with Pine.
Really? But Bulb, you've worked so hard. You've got one of the most important roles in the whole play.
I know, being the angel Gabriel is amazing, and I loved it, and I was so excited, and I've been waiting for this, but I really want Pine to feel welcome, and I know with his experience that we'll have an amazing play, and I'll throw that glitter the best I can.
You are a very good friend, Bulb. I'm very, very proud of you. Why don't you go tell Pine what you've decided to do?
All right. Pine, I've got really good news.
What?
You're going to be the angel Gabriel.
What? That's like one of the coolest starring roles ever. How did you manage that, Bulb?
Well, I told Mrs. Mistletoe that I want to switch with you.
You want to throw glitter? Don't you want to be in the starring role?
Well, I do, and the angel Gabriel's amazing, but I want you to be able to have that role.
Wow, you're really cool, Bulb. Thanks a bunch, man.
You're welcome, Pine. I hope you make a lot of friends with us this year.
You guys are the best friends already.
Yeah! All right, dude. That's a lot of love, man.
Merry Christmas!
Yay! Okay, Jesus was our ultimate surprise gift from God. Like, nothing can be better than that. But I'm still so excited to open up these surprises! Well, I won't be opening up all of them because they're not all for me. They have Tilly's and Jackson's and Jeremiah's and Kate's and all of our family's names on them because they're for all of us to open. And I saw one of mine, which is in this big box, and I have no idea what it is. I don't know. Oh, I still have no idea. What are you? Nope. Doesn't smell like nothing, and it doesn't really sound like anything either. What are you? I have no idea, but I'm so excited to open it. Oh, actually, my son's drawing to me earlier, and this makes me want to draw a drawing. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's draw a holiday drawing. You guys, I'm so excited about these gifts and really happy about them. So I'm gonna draw someone around Christmas who's just really happy and excited as well. Okay, I'm gonna draw a couple ears. There we go, one ear. One more ear. Start drawing his head. And then I'll draw out a scarf because it's cold outside. It's the winter time. I really like wearing scarves. I wear them a lot. And I'll have it flowing in the wind. Okay, I'm giving him a couple of eyes. There we go. and a really big smile. Okay, so I'm gonna draw his eyebrows up because he's super excited and smiling. Yay, like mine are. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to get his hair. So let's get hair. Big, fluffy head of hair. Awesome. Let's make some hair down here. Couple of fluffs in his hair. There. And you know what? This picture is actually a surprise because it is a picture of a happy boy, but it's also a picture of Santa Claus! And I'll give a smile a little bit there. Surprise! It's a 2-in-1 drawing. Surprises are so much fun, and I wonder if God had fun too when he was surprising us with Jesus. He's like, I know what you guys are probably expecting, like him born in a big palace and it being a big show with like lights, like the king of all kings. But he came humble to serve and to love, and it's so beautiful. And Jesus' life is the most beautiful story I have ever heard in my life. It's the most beautiful story that anyone's ever heard. His love story is the story of all stories. Oh. And so we can trust God with our lives, like those 3 trees. And sometimes we might think our lives are gonna look like super fancy. In fact, people might pray over us and say stuff like, you're gonna be a star, or you're gonna be a king. And that might be the right word from God. But the star that was shining for Jesus wasn't pointing to itself. It was pointing to Jesus. And Jesus came as the King of Kings, but he was born among animals and placed in their feeding box. And it's amazing, but it's not what we would think of, and it's not the way the world does things. But God doing things is so much better. And those are the good and the deep and the true gifts. Like my kids' gifts to me earlier, the ones that we'll treasure for forever, rather than stuff like chocolate that'll last for 10 seconds, or fancy cars, or fancy homes, or really cool jobs, or stuff like that won't even last too long. His treasures go on for eternity, forever and ever 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 and even more. So I'm going to lead us in a prayer, just giving our lives to God. So if you want to, you can join me now, or you can pray a prayer like this later, or whenever your heart's stirred in this way. God, thank you so much for your gifts. They're better than I could have ever imagined. You are so trustworthy because you are my good daddy, and I trust you with my life. So I give my whole life to you, God. I give my whole heart to you, and I trust you and say yes to you. Amen. Saying yes to God is like the best thing that you can do, saying yes to him and trusting him and loving him, receiving God's love. And Jesus said yes to God. He even said yes to the cross. But he's going to have joy for all of eternity because he was saying yes to God. It's so good. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as we're looking at God's surprise and how our lives might look different than we thought they would. But if it's from God, it's so much better. It's so much more rich and full and true joy and true peace and true eternal treasures. I wonder what next week's episode is going to be about. It's a surprise! See you really soon. Bye!
The stars in the sky Look down where he lay. That little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay.